Right now at 6, a crash that critically injured a child riding an e-scooter raises new questions about rules and safety.
Use a helmet, stay off the sidewalk, and use a bike lane whenever possible.
Then, a suspected male thief's dramatic escape that had him swinging from a balcony. Plus,
it was really to enhance the fan experience.
call it a better view of the action at Moda, no matter where you sit. And later,
swing and a miss. The Seattle Mariners are champions in the American League West.
how the Mariners ended their decades-long drought. Well, a very good evening, everyone. We want to get right to breaking news in North Portland, where shots have been fired at Dawson Park. Authorities telling us neighbors reported gunshots around 4:15 this afternoon. Police say no one was hurt, though they found several bullets that hit within the park itself. Now, this is a place where community members have long pointed to ongoing violence, drug dealing, and broader safety concerns. Authorities say at this point, no one has been arrested. Well, now to an update in the search for a hit-and-run driver also in North Portland involved in a deadly crash. Portland police believe a Cadillac SRX was involved in this crash just before 11 last night on North Marine near North Anchor Way. One woman was killed. Authorities are now looking for the crossover SUV that's potentially a model year from 2010 to 2016. And while they do not know the color, they say police said the car, again, a Cadillac SRX, will have damage to the front lower bumper on the passenger side. Anyone with information here should contact Portland Police. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We continue at 6 now with a 9-year-old boy critically injured after he was hit, authorities say, while riding an e-scooter in a Southeast Portland crosswalk. Celine Stevens is live along Southeast 122nd. Celine, there are all sorts of questions here around safety, but first of all, do we have any update on how that child is doing tonight?
David, police said that boy is still in the hospital and fighting for his life. Police said he was out with his friends and riding his e-scooter through this crosswalk when he was hit. According to investigators, they believe that the crosswalk's lights were flashing at the time.
What we really hope is that what comes out of this tragedy is our community pays attention to what the laws are with regard to these e-scooters and follows them.
Wednesday night, just after 7:30, Portland police say a 9-year-old boy was riding his e-scooter in a crosswalk at Southeast 122nd and Lincoln when a car hit him.
He has a head injury. We know he was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash.
He was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Portland police say that while deadly crashes are rare, they do happen, and too often, riders aren't following the rules.
Because we do see a lot of people violating the law and the letter of the law when it comes to how they're operating these things. We see it, we're aware of it.
So, what are the laws around e-scooters? The Oregon Motor Vehicle Code breaks down the rules, which include that riders cannot exceed 15 miles per hour, must walk the scooter in a crosswalk, and passengers are not allowed.
So whether you're renting a scooter from Lime or Lyft, or whether you're using your own private e-scooter, travel with caution, use a helmet, stay off the sidewalk, and use a bike lane whenever possible.
Providence St. Vincent emergency doctor Philip Friesen says e-scooter injuries are now a regular part of his work.
At least a couple a week, and it's not something that I saw even probably 10 years ago. It's definitely been the last few years that we're seeing them.
He says wear a helmet.
No matter the age, or your comfort level or expertise, just always be helmeted, because again, a brain is something that can't be replaced.
And slow down.
You'll certainly see, e-bikes and e-scooters, 15 to 25 miles an hour, and we see car accidents at that speed anyway, with potentially bad injuries, because we don't, I think, recognize that 20 miles an hour and just a helmet might even not be enough.
So the driver was driving a rental car and remained on scene. She's currently not facing any charges. David?
Celine Stevens in Southeast Portland. Appreciate that update, Celine. Developing this evening after what you might call a memorable attempt to escape, federal investigators arrested a man accused of running a sophisticated mail theft scheme. A suspect, they say, who went on a spree targeting condo and apartment buildings, particularly in Portland's Pearl District. Kyle Aboshi has a closer look. Kyle, the getaway almost sounds like something out of a thriller here.
Yeah, catching the man was not easy. Get this, he reportedly swung from his 13th floor apartment onto a neighbor's balcony 1 floor below. then escaped through that unit, down the stairs, and out the building before investigators arrested him one day later.
Federal prosecutors say this man, Michael Peters, is the mastermind behind an elaborate mail theft operation. The 48-year-old is now facing federal charges. In court records, federal investigators shared images from security cameras showing Peters entering various apartment and condo buildings in northwest and southwest Portland between May and August of this year. They say he stole mail and committed nearly $30,000 in bank and wire fraud. Mark Pinkerton lives in one of the buildings Peters hit.
It's always something.
So how'd he get in? Prosecutors say Peters had counterfeit master keys used by postal workers to open collection boxes.
It's not uncommon, especially when people let people in here.
This resident said management posted a photo of the suspect, warning tenants.
That one.
That's the one they hit up?
Yeah.
Investigators identified Peters by comparing photos on social media. An eyewitness also helped. Peters has a criminal history in California and Hawaii for similar crimes. A judge ordered he remain behind bars while awaiting trial.
Lost and stolen master keys used to open collection boxes have been an ongoing issue for the Postal Service. As a result, the Postal Service has been keeping closer tabs on those master keys and working to replace them with electronic locks.
Yeah, quite the caper there. Appreciate you digging into it, Kyle. In your headlines this evening, the murder suspect mistakenly released from the Multnomah County Jail is now back in custody. 26-year-old Tyler Sage was released earlier this week despite a judge's order to keep him behind bars. Deputies say U.S. Marshals helped arrest Sage around 1 this afternoon at a gas station off Highway 101 in Florence. Now, Sage is charged with second-degree murder in connection with a 2021 shooting that left a 15-year-old dead in Gresham. He will now be booked into jail on what is called a no-bail hold. In central Washington, authorities are officially closing the murder investigation into Travis Decker. This afternoon, the sheriff's office announced DNA from clothing and human remains found last week were a match. Decker was accused of killing his 3 young daughters, which triggered a months-long manhunt across the Northwest.
It's a big day for Chelan County Sheriff's Office, all of our federal partners, that we can finally bring a close to this dark chapter of Chelan County. Certainly pay respects to the deaths of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. We wanted to show honor to them, let them know that we never forgot about them. We haven't forgot about their family.
So important, right? Authorities found partial remains on Grindstone Mountain in the Leavenworth area. The medical examiner is now working to figure out when Decker died, along with the cause. To Vancouver now, where police used a drone to track down a man suspected of domestic violence. Officers say they responded to a home for restraining order violation, sent in the drone, spotted the attic door open, and then this, found the suspect hiding under insulation. You can just make out his head here coming out from under it. The suspect is now in jail and facing multiple charges, including burglary and 8 protection order violations. And Starbucks is closing hundreds of stores across the country, including at least 15 in Oregon and 5 in Washington. In Portland, those include 2 downtown plus 1 each on West and East Burnside and another on Southwest Capitol Highway. You can see the full list, by the way, on KGW.com. In Vancouver, the downtown location across from Esther Short Park is also closing. Starbucks says the store closures, which are part of a $1 billion restructuring plan, will begin immediately. Some 900 non-retail workers will also be laid off.